Hello everyone. In this video, I'm interviewing my friend Brandon again. So we did an interview a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, around a month ago.
We were eating borscht, and everyone was criticizing us that the borscht got cold.
It got cold, man.
All right, did it get cold? My borscht.
No, it didn't. They just commented that it did get cold, but it did not get cold. It was good.
Okay. So I wasn't lying in the comments when I said the borscht did not get cold. Right. But in this video, we're actually here on Arbot, and the format of this video, we're going to be asking each other just some questions about life in Russia, and like why we live here. So Brandon, the first question I want to ask you is, where have you been in Russia other than St. Petersburg? Because you live in St. Petersburg,
right?
And now you're in Moscow. What are some other places that you've been to in Russia?
Right. This is a very common comment, is that a lot of people write, you need to go outside of St. Petersburg and Moscow, and so luckily I've had the opportunity to do that. So I've been to Ruskiala, Karelia. I've been to Yekaterinburg. I've been to Saratov, Samara, Taliati. I've been to Sochi, Veliki Luki, Veliki Novgorod. I've been to как называется этот город? I've been to Altai. That was crazy.
Really?
I've been to yes. I was there for 10 days. I was a slave as a counselor at an English camp, but it was great because it was all paid for and I got paid to be there. So it was a free trip for me. So that was fantastic. So yes, I've been to at least 10 cities outside of Russia. And
outside of Moscow.
Outside of Moscow, St. Pete. We're cooked. So yes, it's great because actually there are a lot of beautiful cities outside of St. Pete and Moscow. And I would say that
your favorite? My
favorite was probably Sochi.
Really?
Sochi, because after they modernized it post when they started building for the Winter Olympics, it just became super modern. And have you been to Sochi?
I love Sochi. Sochi, it reminds me, to be honest, it's sort of like the south of France. So I was actually there for Formula One.
Okay.
And like that was totally like very similar to like the south of France. You have the mountains, you have the beach, and you have like Formula One.
Yeah.
So, you know, like,
palm trees.
Palm trees, yeah.
Palm trees.
And you never think like palm trees in Russia, you know?
Right, exactly. So yeah, Sochi's absolutely amazing. So that was definitely my favorite city, and yeah, so I guess I'll ask the same question back to you then. Yeah. Is that, well, obviously you live in Moscow, so which cities have you been to outside of St. Pete and Moscow?
Yeah, so I've been to a lot of
let's make sure the boy doesn't die here.
Maybe we can just like walk together across the street here right now.
Yeah.
But keep recording. We're doing no editing on this video.
No editing. No cuts.
So other cities that I've been to outside of St. Petersburg and Moscow, I've been to Altai. I actually went skiing there. And skiing in Altai actually blew my mind away.
Was that this past winter?
Yeah, that was in February. I realized that like skiing in Russia is like quite amazing. Yeah. Like, my next place I want to go to is Rozhuta.
Yes, then in Sochi.
It's in Sochi, yeah. So
wait till after January. I've heard after January that's the best time to go. Don't go before New Year.
So yeah, that was probably my favorite place is Sochi.
Sochi.
That's my favorite place outside of Moscow.
Yeah, because, well, it's just like that general area in the south of Russia there, so it's just a lot warmer in general, which is really nice. And yeah, it's just totally different because we can probably agree that in general most Russian cities are going to look pretty similar one way or the other with like the European style architecture, some monuments and stuff like that. But Sochi, it's just like a different vibe. And I've never been to like Anapa or Krasnodar, but I've heard like they're pretty good.
I've heard good things about those places as well. One place I really want to go to is Crimea. Like this is like a place I really want to go to.
Dude, let's do it. I'm down.
Okay, let's do it. That might be a good trip, actually.
Yes, exactly. Okay, fantastic. So now my question for you, okay? So you live in Moscow, so do you have like a favorite spot that you like to go to in Moscow? It can be for anything, for like just like banya or for anything like that.
Well, my banya place of preference is Paveletsky Banyas. Maybe I'll take you there sometime.
Yes, next time I come to Moscow, I gotta take the boy.
But also I like Arbat. Arbat is like this very it's just a chill part of Moscow. People are just walking around. This is just one of my favorite places in Moscow. So my favorite place in Moscow, one of the favorite places is this area specifically. So
yes, because in St. Petersburg, I have a favorite spot that I like to go to, and I only go there on occasion. It's Smolenski Sabor.
Mhm.
Have you seen or this?
That place.
It's near
I don't
Church.
know anything about St. Petersburg.
Okay, okay. It's this really, really tall blue cathedral or church or whatever. But I just love how blue it looks, and it's super low key.
Okay. Is that where the St. Petersburg University is?
They
been there.
they do have some one or two universities around there, but it's so nice because it's still downtown, but there are not many people there. None of the tourists are there or anything like that, and it's super chill to go there. I used to go there back when I lived here in 2020. I would literally take like one of my Russian books that I use for learning Russian, and I would go sit like on a bench there in summer and fall, and I would just study Russian there just because it was like so spokojno. It was so tranquil there.
So my next question for you is, have you thought about going to a Russian university, like get your master's degree or something, or like another I don't know. Do you have a master's degree?
I have a bachelor.
Same with me. I don't have a master's. So, like, have you thought about that?
I don't see any point right now because I just work and focus on the grind on social media. So I don't really see any true benefit. I think honestly, anything that I would take from a master's degree, I could probably just buy some courses online and learn whatever there. Right? Learn how to be better at marketing, better at advertising, promoting, anything like that. I think it's probably better to just do it the modern way and just purchase from someone who's done it better, of course. And yeah, so I don't see any purpose right now.
So, okay, I have another question for you. This is more of a spicy question here.
Oh, dude, I'm ready. I'm ready for the spicy one.
Okay, so, spicy question.
Okay.
So, you've dated the girls in the United States.
Yeah.
And you've dated girls in Russia.
Yeah.
So, I know this is like probably not politically correct or like, let's try to keep things as nice as we can here, but like,
let's do it.
Are there any like cultural differences between like girls that you've noticed in Russia and in the United States?
Well, I guess so, yeah. I think girls in the US, this whole stereotype about like 50-50, it's a little bit more common there. Maybe not
50, like splitting the bill?
Yes, either that or like, for example, like if you go out to dinner, if I pay for it one time, she says, "Oh, I'll get it the next time then." Okay. Something like that. So, but here in Russia, at least in my relationships, it was kind of more or less, I kind of took control of everything in terms of like coffee dates and
restaurants. I think that's a good way to approach things. Like, honestly, I like that part of like Russian culture where you pay for everything. Like, it shows you're the man. You know?
Sure, absolutely. But at what point? Because, for example, when it comes to big purchases, like for example, an apartment and stuff like that, do you still think the guy should pay for everything there, or because it's kind of like a big mutual decision?
I'm gonna buy the apartment, but it's gonna be my apartment. You know, it's not gonna be. Yeah, we're crossing another street here. Be careful.
Okay, so if you purchase the apartment, let's say,
yeah.
So what responsibilities are you going to tell your girlfriend or wife or whatever that she needs to uphold?
Well, she needs to take care of the household, like when it comes to creating a comfortable environment, a place where I want to be, where the children want to be. That's her responsibility. My responsibility is making all the money,
right?
And taking care of her. That would be my...
Because I think we can see that's a big difference in the U.S. and Russia, is that in Russia, a lot of women don't work or they don't have to work. But in the U.S., it's more or less the guy works and the woman works too. You know what I mean? I think that's still very, very common.
So you prefer where the woman pays for a little bit of something, or no? What do you
No. For restaurants, cafes, and like all that stuff, I have absolutely no problem taking care of business there. But I do think when it comes to like some bigger purchases, I think some equality can come into play there. Okay. For example, like let's say vacation to Dubai. Maybe, for example, I would say, okay, are you again paying for your ticket? But I can take care of the excursions there, the hotel, and everything like that. I don't really like to get into numbers. Yeah. And this is why it's very important when you start meeting a girl and start going on dates, is that you communicate these things fluently with each other.
Yeah, it's important.
Yes, because if you start dating, then there can be some miscommunication about how finances are handled, what she expects.
Let's go that way. This is actually an interesting part of Moscow. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is down this street. Maybe we might it might be the next street over, but I think this might be the street where the U.S. ambassador lives. I think it might be the next street. Why I live in Russia is because, to be completely honest, like some of my political views and the things that I work on in my for work, it's honestly dangerous to live.
Yes, it could be
in the United States. So again, this is another reason why I live in Russia is because, yeah, it's dangerous out there, man.
I know it's dangerous out there. So my last question, and this is gonna
maybe wrap it up with this last question.
Yes,
because our cameraman probably his hands are probably frozen
to death. Yeah. So if you could only have one Russian food for the rest of your life, what would you choose?
Borscht. I can eat borscht 24/7. That's my favorite food.
Borscht. That's good. It's either for me borscht or pelmeni sismitan.
I agree. Yeah, it's good food.
That combination right there would just be perfect right there, man. Such awesome. Good video.
All right, man. Well, yeah, thanks for doing this video out in the cold.
I'm always ready, man. Took a train from Moscow just for this.
And we'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.
Yes.